I'm Will,
And I'm Steven.
and this is the
This
Post
is
P
the Post Week
Chronicles.
Chronicles.
Hey, what up, say? Yeah.
Will, who is our guest today?
Man, we have a young lady here from the gym, Chula Vista, someone I've known, Steven has known for quite amount of years. And, without any further ado, let me introduce her and allow her to tell her story. Miss Erika Lara. What's going on, Erika?
Hi. Hi, guys.
How are
Hello.
you doing today?
Oh, good. Happy.
Good.
Back to
Happy. I love that. Well, thank you for
hi.
being on the show. We definitely appreciate you. And, we just want to hear your story. So tell us where you're from. Where are you from, Erica?
Chula Vista, my whole
Chula
life.
Vista.
Yep.
And how
Born
was
and
it like
raised.
growing up?
Born
Born
and
and
raised.
raised. How was it like growing up in Chula Vista?
Great, honestly. Grew up Christmas tree circle area, so it's very safe, very blessed. Up until I was adopted. Before that, that was a whole different story. But yeah, I love Chula Vista, and to see it growing is really good. And thanks to you guys because of COVID, and you guys having the gym really was. You guys were amazing. So you guys made Chula Vista a lot better. I'll tell you that right now, big time.
Growing up in Chula Vista, let's go back to your childhood. So growing up in Chula Vista, what was it like? You did just drop a bomb. You said you were adopted. I don't know if you want to get into that. What age were you adopted?
5.
5 years old. So let's
5,
take
yeah.
it from five. Do people really remember before five? Do you remember your life before five?
It's it's crazy because I do remember glimpse because growing up I wasn't told anything about my past. My mother adopted me all by herself, which is crazy because I don't know if you guys know this, but there used to be an orphanage in downtown San Diego.
Mm-mm.
Terrell Davis was there, and my mother knows Terrell Davis's mother, so we grew up in the same, like we were rescued from the same orphanage, which is
Mm,
pretty cool. Yeah, it's a nice little story to tell.
that's a pretty nice story.
I know. I do remember things, but it's bad things. And I've always wanted to know more about it, but my mother was very, wait till you're 18 and I'll tell you everything about your past, but just be
Mm,
patient.
right.
So, yeah.
So let's move past the 5 years old. We don't have to get into any of the things that you experienced when you were 5 years old. But now that you've been rescued, you're 5 years old. You're growing up in Chula Vista with your courageous mom by herself, taking on this little bundle of joy. You probably was a hellraiser at 5 years old. Let's be honest. You was.
She actually would tell you, no, I was the one that if she was mowing the lawn, I would want to mow the lawn, with her. My other two sisters they were very girly. I was a tomboy. I was the one going out there mowing the lawn with the 4.5 green Craftsman lawnmower every day, trying to make that money. Yeah, a lot of people think that that's me, but if you actually talk to my best friends, I am very the opposite. I am very, yeah, no, quiet. So I was the favorite child supposedly, but I'm not. I was more like the kiss ass, where I would go help her clean the house. I don't know. I guess I always wanted her her
Do you
approval.
think that's because you're adopted and you always wanted approval from your mom to be like, this is my mom and she loves me?
I think so. Yeah, because that now that I'm older, I'm like, listen, my two sisters, they never mowed the lawn, mom. Never. Like you never thank me for that. Like I was the one helping you. So yeah, but honestly, like I thank her for that because she taught me independence and she definitely yeah, she's amazing. And she did it on her own, which is great. So she's
Okay,
been
so little lawnmower when you were young, and it sounds like you've been what'd you say, tomboy for a long time, and it started
yeah.
off in the yard. So 5 years old, 6 years old, you're loving it. You, your mom, and your two sisters. So now you're into middle school, 11, 12. What do those years look like in Chula Vista, Hilltop?
She always had me either in etiquette school. I was either in etiquette school, piano lessons, basketball, soccer. She was always on top of all of us, like all three of us. So there was me. She adopted me. Well, I'm sorry, my older sister adopted me and then had another one. But she was always on top, even with her patients that she loved. Above all, she loved us and made sure that we were busy and up to no good. Like she had a lock on the TV. She was that strict. There was a lock on the TV. There was no showing the legs until you're 18. No makeup. It was very, yeah, she definitely did a good job with us.
Man.
I think so. Yeah.
Sound like you had an amazing childhood.
I did. I was blessed. My brother, who's actually older than me, we were separated. He was never adopted. So I was definitely a lot of work. But my mom said because at that age, I didn't know how to walk or talk or anything at the age of 4 or 5. So I guess that's the only work she had.
When were you able to reconnect with your brother?
When my brother was murdered in 2013, I haven't seen him in years. I haven't even seen him before that. I think I just saw like a glimpse of him. And then when I saw him at the, when I had to identify his body, I literally saw him just for like an hour. And I wanted to talk to him, but I was so busy crying that when I finally wanted to go to him, I never seen him again since. So he has a lot of, yeah, no, he remembers our past. I remember certain things, the bad things, but I think that's why he didn't get adopted. And that's what's messed up because he definitely had a lot of issues as well.
Sorry to hear that.
Oh, no, thank you. But
so you were already in your 20s at this point then, or your teens when this happened in 2013?
Yeah, I was, like probably 20s, 24, 23, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. He was supposed to help me raise my son. So, but yeah, his life was taken away. He was murdered pretty bad. So, and he was a good kid. He was definitely not involved in anything.
Man.
So,
yeah, I'm definitely sorry to hear that.
He was the first one I met, actually.
Who?
When I went looking for my real family. Yeah,
your brother?
I remember I had a lock on the TV. Yeah, he taught me about Tupac. I didn't know who Tupac was because there was a lock on the TV. And so I remember one time, he had a tattoo, and I'm like, oh, wow, I can't have that. And then when he played the rap music, I was like, I love this. He's like, it's poetic, isn't it? I'm like, I love it. So yeah, he taught me Tupac, everything. He was amazing. The way I met him was incredible. And yeah, he would definitely been a great uncle if he was here still. Yeah.
So you said that you were able to, you started looking for your other family. Did you find any other parts of your family?
I found, oh God, do you want to, I'll say a quick story of how I found them. I actually, the day I found my brother, and it's all actually kind of related, but the way I found my brother was a few hours later, I was waiting for my biological mom to finally show up. My whole life, I've always wondered, like, is my real mom, like, I guarantee you she's probably from London, because I don't know why I talk like this. Sometimes, like, I could talk, and then all of a sudden I talk English. And I was young, and I would do that. My mom's like, I knew it. My mother's probably, like, related to the Queen, and she got rid of me because she had an affair with the Duke, and they can't know. My mom's like, dear God, honey, you're not from London. No. I was like, fine. Okay. But she wouldn't tell me. It was mom's the word, just she was young. She couldn't have you. That's it. She was very respectful about that. She goes, when you're 18, I'll let you know. But I wanted to know. Yeah. So she was very hurt when I went looking. And let's just say I would watch Jerry Springer when we learned how to pick the lock on the TV. That was one show we'd watch. And it was always and Maury Povich, and I would cry because they find the real family, right? And they open their arms, and you're like, And oh my God, my whole friend thought that was gonna be it. So my 3 good friends to this day were there and witnessed. Like, I went to Castle Park High School, and I stood at the 4 corners. I was told when my brother got out of the system, I was told when I called looking for him that we had a brother. That's all I know that went to Castle Park. So I went looking. My friends at each corner, we asked each one, are you Carlos? Are you Carlos? Are you Carlos? And I was the one. I was like, are you Carlos? And that's when he looked at me, and I looked at him, and we have the same jawbone and the eyes.
You got you right away.
So he goes, Titi, I didn't know that my real mom changed, or I didn't know that my mom changed my name for my mom not to find me. Right. So he kept saying TT. I guess my biological name is Christina, and I didn't know this. So when he was saying TT, I was just like, no, I'm sorry, I'm Erika. I said, but I'm looking for my real mom and Carlos, who's my brother. And immediately, like, we knew. And I was like,
Mm.
I go, is my mom still around? Like, do you live with her? And he goes, yeah, like she's getting off of work soon. It used to be called Lucky's down the street in Castle Park.
Yeah.
That's how local I am. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So I was just like, really? I was so nervous. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna hug me. Like, this is gonna be so excited. My friends are so excited. And remember, this is, me growing up very,
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in her apartment, super excited, getting to know my brother. That's when I'm learning about Tupac and everything at the time. Learning the rap lyrics. And then he goes, all right, listen, mom's coming. I'm like, oh my God. And that's when I'm meeting my sister brother. Also, I have a sister too. Apparently I have 2 little sisters. So she kept them. And so, yeah, she walks in the room. Oh my God. She's obviously not, related to the Queen of England. She's very, very gangster. Like, as soon as she comes in the room, I'm like, I stand up and immediately she goes, who the beep is this? What did I tell you about bringing hoes to the house? And I'm like,
Whoa.
and me and my friends, we're in our, like,
Thanks,
our
Mom.
school bra outfits, and I'm just like, wow, that's rude. I was like, hi. I'm like, she's very, like, very gangster. And I'm like, I'm your daughter. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, this is how you show up? And my heart just immediately was like, what?
Wow.
And she goes, you don't think about fucking calling first? And my friend immediately just, like, grabbed me by my hand when she's like, you don't deserve her. Like, F this, let's go. And I was still in shock. And my brother, Carlos, at the time was just like, please don't listen to her. Like, she's just in shock as well. And my friends are just pulling me out of the house. And I thought it was just, I was just in shock. I was staring at her because she's completely, I thought she was gonna look like Princess Diana, but she's short. She's 4'10". But that was the way she met me. And I knew right there that.
So let me ask you this. You had this whole romanticized idea of reuniting with your mom and family, hugs and kisses and maybe some tears shed. And
yeah,
obviously that becomes crashing down on you. How does that affect you going forward? Or even now, how does that introduction to seeing your mom, like, how does that sit with you today? And at the time, how did it sit with you? At
the time, I didn't have the time to think about that because I never did school in my life. My mom got a call that and my mom who's very professional, I was scared of that 4'11" woman. I think what the only emotion I got to have was, one, I was so hurt, but I didn't have that time because all of a sudden my mom is at my house, which she's never there because by the time she's home with her patients, it would be dark. And she's at my front door and she asked me, like, where were you? I broke her heart. Like, I've never seen my mom, who's so strong, never in her life has cried. And she goes, and I told her, and the reason why I told her was because the next day my biological brother, so when I ran out, we didn't have phones back then, right? So what did I do? I wasn't thinking. I wrote my home address. My real brother showed up to my house the next day. My mom came rushing. And then she's like, I need to know why, your biological brother's sitting on our couch. And just to see her, I think I didn't have time to comprehend my mom. It was after after the few months, I think it affected me for a while because I really thought she was going to hug me or accept me or love me or, yeah. I think that explains why I'm never married. I went to become a runaway bride.
Do you have a relationship with her today?
Oh my God, I love her oh, my biological mom?
Yeah.
No, not at all. She's, what I finally heard and found out about her and my biological father, I don't think I could ever look her in the eyes again. So, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but I'm definitely happy that you found a woman that loved you with all of her heart and raised you the right way, that you just gush over. Ask about your mom, you get to smile and, oh, I love her, she's so amazing. Like, that's your mom, right? That's your mom.
Don't you watch shows right now on Hulu and Netflix, and the moms, like, these kids are grown up with the parents who who did things to the kids.
Yes.
Like, my
the Menendez brothers.
I was so lucky to be adopted by the most amazing, strict mom who at the time I, despised her. That's why I always wanted to know if my family was from London. and would save me. But now I'm like, honestly, she did a great job. She protected us,
she protected you.
protected us. But yeah, no, I'm definitely nothing like my real mom. I vow not to be like her. I think that's why I definitely, you know, had my son and did everything I can. Right. Yeah, she's a gangster. She likes to fight. I'm very opposite. I'm not a gangster. Like, I don't even like to fight.
Right. So let's fast forward, because I mean, that's a traumatic event, you know, definitely a traumatic event. But do you think that event affected you moving forward in life, or were you able to overcome that?
I can overcome it, but, you know, being at the age of 40, I was proposed. I was supposed to get married a few times. I realized that I'm scared of abandonment. And I guess I just learned this year. And the reason why I can't ever get in a serious relationship is I hurt before getting hurt. And I realized that. And I don't think I can break that. I don't know. I think I just might just be, you know, me and my cats forever.
Not the cats. Get a dog. Throw a dog up in there. Steven loves dogs.
I love dogs too. No, I want to live on a farm. Trust me, with a bunch of animals.
Dogs will love you unconditionally, and they'll never betray you.
There you go.
Very true.
Definitely. So let's talk about some things that will betray you, like the system. And I think that's a nice segue into, you know, kind of why you're on here talking to us today. So how did that come about? How did you end up on Post P today?
Actually, our conversation about, you know, the gym and what it offers, and I told you how I love being in the out and open and not so confined.
So random, right?
Yeah, very
so random.
I know. That's the first thing I hear is, you don't look like you've been to prison. I'm like, I know what that looks like, though. You know, Martha Stewart doesn't look like she went to prison.
She does not. She does not.
She doesn't. So,
or does she?
Yeah. So that's why I always tell people, I'm like, you know, Martha Stewart. So, long story short, I went to prison was to keep my family safe. I took the rap and did a while. I thought it was going to be an overnight, and it turned out I was sentenced to 8 years. So it was 4 years in, 4 years out. And so, and that was actually a miracle, because technically, which is a whole crazy quick story, but I won't get into that right now. But yeah, I was supposed to do 15 years that day. It was the judge that overturned that second, changed my deal. Not even my lawyer. We don't have to
get into the details, but what exactly did you go to prison for? I'm sure our audience is wondering. 8 years, 15 years. What the heck did this girl that doesn't do anything wrong and, you know, great upbringing, what did she do? So we can touch on that without getting too in depth. What happened?
I took the rap for 40 pounds of cocaine. And everyone who knows me growing up here, I don't like that drug. There's a reason why I don't like doing hard drugs. I will admit to marijuana. It's the only one I love. But yeah, I took the rap, and the exchange was my family would remain safe. So
let's talk about this, because you were straight laced, right? And from what you're saying, before you got arrested, you were straight laced. You didn't know what was going on. You weren't in this life. You wasn't, a Griselda Blanco or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like, you was just Erika doing your thing, working, and then this happens to you.
I had baseball bats in my trunk. I was my son's coach for Little League. I was his soccer coach. Like, I was literally the Chula Vista team, like, coach. So never been arrested in my life. No one in my family's been arrested. Never even had a DUI, which I will never judge, but I've been blessed to not. It's like a story. It's like they say, like, you think it would never happen to you
until it does.
Your life flashes from that time between the handcuffs. Come on, it is literally like it's a trip. And I used to judge. I'm not gonna lie. We used to judge people that would go in the system.
You're not the only one.
Right?
You're not the only one.
And
but what was that like? you know, like straight laced, and now you're in prison, something you never in a million years thought would happen to you. So what is that like?
The first prison they put me in was Maximum, was in Robert Presley in Riverside, which is for murders, rapists, pedophiles, um, the big timers. So
Yeah.
my first bunkmate was, you know, just me and her. Her name was Sydney. She was in there. She killed, I think, 8 of her family members. And
What?
she promised me in exchange, as long as I give her coffee, she won't kill me because she knows my death points. I don't even know what death points means, but she goes, I know your death points. And I'm like, okay. She goes, just give me coffee. I'm like, if that's all it takes. Because I knew nothing about prison. All I knew was American Me. That's the only thing I knew about prison. So, and that was the movie. So I'm thinking like, oh my God, I hope I'm not someone's, I'm gonna be someone's bitch. You know, so I was scared. I was scared to take showers. I've never cursed. Like I've never seen anybody on drugs. I've never seen someone, you know, die in prison. I've never seen murder. I've never seen anyone get brutally attacked over and over. I've never seen anything so crazy in my life until I went there. So yeah.
It was a massive culture shock for you because you're the Chula Vista soccer mom who literally did get set up. You're not a criminal surrounded by violent offenders. I mean, that's got to be, how do you even adjust to that? Did you ever adjust to it?
I would say I definitely learned how to smoke weed when I came out. It helps. It actually, I think it kind of just helps me remind me that I'm normal. No, I don't think anybody can. But what I do is every morning I wake up and thank God for my freedom of air, fresh air, freedom of water, bathroom. Just the fact that you can go to the restroom without permission blows my mind. The fact that I thought that the guards in prison were there to save you and protect you blew my mind. So I definitely came out thinking, and my family, I remember just even telling my family what was going on, and they're not thinking that they were listening, like thinking that they didn't even care. As soon as I told my mom what we're subjected to, they threw me in confinement, which I didn't even know what solitary confinement was until then. So every day, like the worst part of my life was the confinement. Someone's cooking. Yeah, I have nightmares. I have nightmares, but I think what makes me strong every day is thinking about the girls that don't have the freedom like me. Is the girls that I met, CJ, the girl who's never seen a beach, who's never touched sand because her mother was, doping her up with heroin her whole life. I've never met those girls. America's Top Model was the girl who saved my life in there when I was getting jumped for the first time, and I've never been in a fight in my life. It's such a culture shock. It's something that I would say definitely humbled me. And I feel like since the years I've been out, my freedom was in 2019. I was finally free from the system in 2019. And since then, I think the people I've met in my life, I say my story because I hope it changes them. And I hear that. Even the men I've dated, the amazing men I've dated, I tell my story because I hope it changes them. And they tell me, like, Erika, you're someone like, you've changed me. And I hope, and I'm glad I did, or I hope it's for the best. But again, I say my story for the girls who will never come out. So when I wake up, I think about them, the girls that, again, who's never seen sand, felt sand, the girls who'll never get married, the girls who will never play pickleball, or the girls who'll never work out, anything. You think about that.
Let me ask you a question. I mean, it sounds like Will was in there for obviously something he committed and something that he will admit to, so he has a different view. It sounds like you being in there from someone that was innocent, surrounded by those people, you almost developed like an empathy for these people more so than like, hey, I'm not one of these guys, don't lump me in with these guys. You're like, wow, I feel for these people. I mean, even though I shouldn't be there, I'm still heartbroken over what these people are going through.
Well,
I think that's an important view.
That was my attitude going in. Exactly what you just said. At first I was like, I thought I was going to get out. I seriously thought that the president was going to listen to what happened. I seriously thought every day when I heard Will call from somebody that that was going to be my name. Or I thought that at the time my friends were going to bust me on a helicopter, was going to come get me. Like every time I had that hope. And then a year goes by, then months go by, and then you just realize like it's not happening. But you're right. The first time I did go in there, I definitely judged. And of course the girls thought of me different. Even the guards were so rude with me. I couldn't believe it when I was first in there. They hid my mail. So the first 7 months, I was angry. I was like, I can't believe no one's writing to me. Like, I can't believe I have no letters from friends, family. And it took one guard, a new guard, that was like, are you, can I, when I was out there mopping, she goes, I have something to show you, but you have to promise me you can't tell the guards I showed you. And it was a box of everybody that I love to death, of pictures of my son, of the little league kids, the soccer kids, characteristic letters from the patients of the last job I was at. It was really beautiful that a guard had the balls to actually do that, because she could have definitely got.
Now, why would they hide that from you? Because you're the spoiled little soccer mom that everyone hates, or what?
It was the hate at first, because I was in there. I taught the girls how to exfoliate because they didn't know how to wash their face in there, and we didn't have soap. So with the eggshells, I taught them, like, and then with coffee and banana peel, I told my mom, like, I got to teach these girls how to exfoliate. They don't even know what exfoliation is. Like, you have to take care of your skin. So they definitely didn't like me. I was in there teaching them about what, I think it was because of my positivity, but I did go in there again, judging them. But then when you actually hear their story and you ask and you see the way they are, and you see the girls come in and out while you're still in there, and you're wondering why they keep coming back in. And again, you see the injustice. I've seen a girl pregnant in there, die in there, give birth, and the guards never came out to get her. I've seen her body roll out. I've seen them take away our toilet paper, our toiletry, because they want to play a joke on us. But if you're doing that against a bunch of girls who are in there for killing and for kidnapping, for God knows what else, and you're taking away something that's even making them more pissed, and you're underground and we're in a desert, you're looking at a lot more, and people coming down on drugs. So it definitely humbled me. It changed my life. And I was always appreciative, but every day I appreciate just, again, fresh air. My son, I didn't allow him to visit me those years in there. I didn't let him visit me not once. I didn't want me chained up ever.
No, it's a tough thing to see. It's a tough thing to see. And it's a tough thing to go through, to know that your son is able to come see you and be like, no, I'm going to deprive myself of the most precious thing in my life.
Yeah.
To protect you. Right.
100%. And he tells me, like, I don't remember it.
I can connect with what you're saying personally, especially the joy that you have in every single day. Like, Steven, Erika, you've been seeing her for all these years. I've seen Erika, and she's always smiling, always upbeat. And to know where that joy comes from is powerful, and I connect with it because I'm always smiling. I'm always upbeat. Yeah. You ask me, hey, how you doing, man? I'm blessed and highly favored. That's my go-to now, Steven. I'm blessed and highly favored, and I always said I was great, but that's where it came from, because I know where I was at and I know where I'm at now, and this is always going to be better. And so to see your joy is good to know where the fuel is coming from.
And I love those humbling moments too, where it's like, man, yeah, you're not technically one of them, but you can still sit back and feel for them. And I feel like that's what Post Beat Chronicles is all about. We're trying to bring life and personality to showing that being behind bars is not, everyone's got a story, and everyone's got, is there for a reason, not necessarily they're just bad people, they deserve it, and lock them up, right? I have a story I can tell real quick. When I was in juvenile hall, I was preaching to the teenage girls. And one of the girls was like, hey, pray for me because my dad told them to keep me in here longer. And I was like, well, you can't go back to their mom. She's like, my mom's strung out on drugs. She's not able to take me. She's like, my stepmom attacked me, and my dad and her are the reason I'm in here. And they told me to stay in here and don't want me back. She's like, so I have no way to get home, and my grandma can't take me. And in that moment, I was like, dang, the two most precious people in this girl's lives, her parents, one strung out on drugs, the other one basically admitted that I love my mother or your whatever, my new wife more than you. I'm like, this girl's gonna grow up and be messed up. Not because of her choice, because of what her parents are doing to her. And that's when I got a whole new revelation of like, wow, these people all have a story and they're not just here because they're bad people.
Yeah. Everybody has everybody. Like I feel like when you walk by somebody, everybody has a story. So definitely, it definitely humbled me, 100%.
Definitely. And your story didn't end in prison because, man, what are you doing now, Erika? Why is everybody so in love with you and impressed with the person that you are? What do you do for a living?
I run and operate an automotive shop, mechanic shop. So I completely didn't know anything about automotive, and coming out of prison, obviously I didn't think it was going to be hard getting a job. I thought like, all right, I'm going to apply for the jobs that I know I'm good at. And then as soon as you click that box, remember back then, the box, are you a convicted felon? God, I was even denied from like a liquor store. I couldn't believe the judgment in their eyes. So I needed to get a job right away because being on probation, I was still at AB 109. I was still a prison body. So they're like, listen, if you don't get a job, you're going to go back in. So you're just like, oh my God. And then I met this amazing couple that was like, listen, what do you know about cars? I'm like, they need car washes and oil changes. I think like oil changes are very important, I believe. And they're like, that's all you know about cars? I'm like, yep. Turns out there's brake fluid, differential, transfer fluid. I was like, those are all the fluids our cars have, huh? Is that why my cars never lasted? So I went from like knowing nothing, completely nothing, to I know everything. You tell me the year, make, and model of your car. I will tell you what's due, where to get your parts. My thing is giving back. Like, I can't believe I'm in the field I'm in, but I love it. It's definitely like, I actually wanted to be an FBI agent, which is crazy, and to go into child trafficking and go undercover. And now I completely and who knows, maybe I might, who knows if I ever expunge my record, but I definitely love what I do. And hopefully one day I own my own shop. I've been offered, but right now I think I want to see the world. I want to travel. I did my job. I raised my son, and being in prison, obviously, every day you always say like, what could I have done different? What should I have done different? What can I do now to be different? And I'm just like, I need to see the world. I need to travel. I need to know what's past Chula. I need to know what's outside San Diego. I want to get back and work in like orphanages, but in little villages out in the middle of nowhere, and do that. If my construction goes as planned, hopefully I can do that and give back. So,
well, I don't know if you know this, Erika, but Post P, we do international outreach, and maybe you can come with us in April because we're going to Uganda again. We went last year, and we're going to be going again next year in April to give back to orphanages and speak to women and men in prison.
Oh my God, yes.
And if you can't do that, we're going to be doing it again next October in the Philippines.
Sign me up for both. I want to travel, and if I could do it, I can definitely. I'm sure the place I'm at is not going to have a problem with that at all. And I would, please, you 100% tell me what I need to do. I can start helping you guys fundraise.
Yes.
But again, honestly, I thank you. Stephen, when I did come to your gym, I do want to thank you for having the gym open throughout COVID, because it is 100% true. I have PTSD, and without the gym, my anxiety is really bad. And when they were shutting down the gyms, your gym saved my life. Like your gym literally, because from before that, I was at another gym and that gym got raided. And I remember I was just like, oh my God, I can't afford these machines, because they're selling like machines on OfferUp for like crazy amounts.
Yeah, thousands.
Yeah, toilet paper was $500. A machine was $1,000. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I remember a yoga ball being this much. But yeah, because of the gym in Chula Vista, you definitely helped me and I'm sure millions of others, hundreds of others.
You know, that's one of the revelations that, you know, Will and I came up with this program because during COVID, everyone was like, this saves my life. You guys have no idea how much this helps me. And, you know, formerly incarcerated military people, everyone's like, this being open has saved my life. And I was like, this is the most stressful time of my life because the police are showing up every day trying to shut me down. But everyone else is like, it's saving our life. And I was like, so thankful to be able to do it and to help other people. So I'm glad that you're one of them. And I'm glad that we can contribute to your story and what makes it, you know, a success story. One of the questions I did want to ask you, though, so it sounds like this is kind of a personal question, but so you kind of feel betrayed by your biological mother with the way you met and her background and why you would never go back to you. But it also sounds with being set up with 40 pounds of cocaine, you were betrayed by multiple other people too. So it sounds like maybe some of your trust issues and your PTSD also come from just flat out betrayal as well. Would you be able to say that's something that you're going through?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, so I noticed I was just, you're like, I'm never going to get married, but maybe it's just because important people have betrayed you in the past. Doesn't mean your future is going to be that way.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. That was, didn't think about that part either. But that's it.
Yeah.
Of course. And I just wanted to say that a dog wouldn't have knocked down your phone like that, you know, so just wanted to.
You saw that.
I just wanted to drop that in there, though, you know. But on a serious note, Erika, there is so many people that will be blessed by your story. Like you said, you are the Martha Stewart. Well, Martha Stewart, she embezzled a lot of money. She committed a crime. But if you, from the standpoint of someone who has not committed a crime, who went and did 4 years in prison with not, you know, just the lower level crimes. No, with murderers. Your cellie was committed 8 murders and said, if you give me Folgers, I will not stab you. Like, just give me the Folgers.
And I didn't believe it.
Right. And that's traumatic. That is extremely traumatic. And so overcoming that, and that could keep someone in a constant state of, I'm not like you. I'm not like you. This is ridiculous. Instead, you're like, look, we are the same. We just had different experiences, you know? And so because you've had your experience, you're going to help open the eyes of so many other people and save the lives of many more.
I hope so. If I can give back, I definitely want to let people know that there is definitely hope out there. Because I know that they make it hard when you come out. They make it hard. If I didn't have the support I had, I feel bad for those who don't have that support.
Yeah, and we need your voice. So keep sharing your story. We're going to do our best to spread this as far as we can, Erika. And we appreciate you being on Post P. If anybody wanted to reach out to you and ask for some assistance or get, you know, hear a little bit more of your story or even give you their testimony because you inspired them, how can they reach you?
I guess social media or my email. But yeah, my Love Cheese Fitness.
My Love Cheese Fitness.
I love cheese. Both things, fitness and cheese, are my two.
All right, y'all heard her. Reach out if you want to reach out. Man, again, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for sharing the story. I'm so sorry you went through it, but I'm happy that you overcame it.
All right. Thank you.
The people you're going to reach because of it, and the more you get your story out there, the more you advocate for people, you know, the empathy that you have, I think you might even be a victim in this whole story, right? But the way to stay positive and be able to help other people, that's awesome. So keep it up.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys.
Of course.
Thank you.
So once again, I'm Will.
And I'm Steven.
And this is the Post P Chronicles.
Hey, what up, say? Yeah.